Hello and welcome back to a very quick stopgap episode of the Think Rugby podcast. I would like to take the opportunity now to apologise for not uploading last week. What happened was, as you can probably tell, I'm in new surroundings, I've moved house. I had internet set up, and for whatever reason, as soon as I started talking, I would be cut out. And yeah, so obviously I moved house. This is like the second week of me being in the new house, so been a bit of a stressful time for me at the moment, and unfortunately not an awful lot of time was left in the week for the podcast to be recorded, because we typically do it at the same time, usually every Monday, and then obviously we upload whatever we have on the Tuesday. So a quick apologies for that. And then this past week, Zav has been ill, so he's had a sore throat and been unable to talk. I will let everybody decide and make their own minds up of how he got this sore throat, but nevertheless, that was why we weren't recording on Monday. But that's the apologies out of the way. There has been some more news coming out on the doorstep this time with Scotland. It has been unveiled by the BBC's chief sports writer Tom English that Gregor Townsend has signed a 2-year extension, making him the head coach of Scotland for the next 2 years, basically up to the World Cup. Am I surprised? No. Did I think it would happen? Yeah. This is not the first time that Gregor Townsend, I think, has really played a blinder with the SRU. I think he's really manipulates the wrong way, because that implies that he's sleek. I don't rate him as a coach, but I wouldn't say he's a slick guy. I think he's played this whole thing very, very clever now, and I mean, in 2020, I think it was 3, he, in the past, he has obviously applied to be the attack coach of France. And that, I think, was used as a ploy to get the SRU to give him a contract extension. I think the same has happened again with obviously the interest coming from Newcastle, but I don't think, compared to maybe the previous situation, that it was about money. I think it was about getting another opportunity at the World Cup. Does he merit this next opportunity at the World Cup? No, I really don't think he has. Off the top of my head, there is plenty of other class coaches that would be paid roughly the same amount of money as what Gregor Townsend has. I mean, you look, for example, Joe Schmidt, he'll be leaving the Wallabies at the end of the Rugby Championship. Look at the job he's done. Franco Smith at Glasgow, we'll come back to him. That's just two right off the top of my head. Defence coach of France, Mr. Sean Edwards, he would have been another good, I would say, person to bring in, considering Scotland have lost Steve Tandy to Wales, as Steve Tandy was Scotland defence coach. I don't know. I think Townsend, by everything that I'm reading online, obviously online doesn't speak for the whole fan base, as there is some fans that aren't online, but everything I've seen is, we don't dislike him, we don't think he's a bad coach, but a lot of the general consensus is that Gregor Townsend has had his time. It's time for him to move on and let somebody else come in. I think that's something that myself and Zav have agreed on for quite a while. Some people think that he shouldn't have had another opportunity after the 2019 World Cup in Japan. I'm not so sure. 2 years, it's not really enough. I think up to 23 would have been plenty. By the time that this current contract extension runs out, it'll be 2027. That's 10 years. That's one hell of an innings. It goes without saying that Scotland have improved under Gregor Townsend. They've went 4 years in a row beating England. They've had some remarkable victories against some top class opposition like the Wallabies and France. But I think Townsend, for a long time now, has been clutching at straws, and I thought it was remarkable he got his extension in 2023. I think to get this one is ludicrous. I did reply to Andy Burke on Twitter, Tom English's co-host for the Rugby podcast, and I said it was unambitious but unsurprising that the SRU came to this decision. I mean, we're paying £400,000 a year for mediocrity. What does that say? Yeah, I mean, I don't expect Scotland to win a Six Nations. Some may argue that Scotland would never ever win the Six Nations. I beg to differ. Look at Wales in 2021 behind closed doors. Never say never, nothing's impossible. I'm just gutted that somebody else hasn't had a shot, because similar to the Springboks, quite a lot of these Scottish players, world-class players, they're going to be at the end of their life cycle by the time of the next World Cup. And I think that's where a lot of folk are quite frustrated, is the fact that we're not getting somebody fresh and new to just have a feel and just get a chance with this good crop of players, because it's a world class, once in a generation set of backs. The forwards, there isn't a consistent world class quality there like you get in other tier one nations. I mean, needless to say, the All Blacks, the Springboks, France, Ireland on their day. Don't come for me, paddies. So yeah, I have to say I wasn't just best pleased when I seen that Townsend had gotten the contract extension, but as I say again, I wasn't surprised, and I think his agent has played a blinder. Goes without saying though, it's very, very clear, even if there was to be a couple of Six Nation titles being won in the next 2 years, doubt Townsend will stay. I think there will be protests at Murrayfield, and you don't get protests in rugby, but there will be a few protesting if Townsend gets even 1 month after this latest contract extension, because folk are like, he's had his time, he has had his time. So yeah, I don't think Scotland are going to achieve bugger all. I think everything pinpoints to the autumn, where they've got the All Blacks coming to Murrayfield. Yeah, I'm not too optimistic. Maybe made that clear. And as for the Rugby World Cup, well, unless you get into the top six, where in the world rankings, the draw, yes, it does favour Scotland, but Scotland should be sixth in the world in their rankings. But who am I to say? Anyway, yes, just thought that we should give you a bit of an update as to what's been going on. We apologise for the lack of content that there has been the past fortnight. As I said and explained at the beginning of the video, it's not like we've been doing it deliberately. There has been genuine reasons, but we like to thank you for your support and for continually tuning in. Who knows? Hopefully sometime soon we'll get up to that elusive 100 subscribers soon. We're on 90. We're looking forward to getting to 100. But yes, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to check out all of our links in the description below, and we'll see you in the next one.